Hello, I am your host, John Cavendish, and welcome to the Amazon Strategist Show, the show that's all strategy with no hacks, no silver bullets, and no magic pills, just real practical strategies for long-term Amazon success. Today, my guest is Matt Lapierre of PingPong Payments. That's a alliterative, hard thing to say. Matt is Partnerships Manager for PingPong. We chat regularly for the last, I think, over a year, and he's an awesome guy up at, 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:30 in the morning over in LA. I'm very excited to have him on this show to talk about payments, how you can save money, because at the end of the day, long-term strategy-wise, you need to be saving money and sorting things out so that you're not trickling money away at the bottom of your business. Like, it's great to make more money at the top, but if you're making 20% margin, then Amazon's taking 1 to 3% of your payout money. That's 3 to 10% of your margin. So it's pretty insane how much money Amazon is taking just to pay out to your bank account. So I'm very excited to have Matt on the show. PingPong was started over 7 years ago and helps e-commerce sellers to save money through international payments. That's VAT payments, supplier payments, basically transferring money anywhere in the world. To date, PingPong has processed $90 billion, which is absolutely insane. And they have more than 800 employees across US, Europe, Asia, and basically everywhere else in the world. So welcome, Matt, and great to have you on the Amazon Strategist Show.
Thanks, John.
That was the longest intro ever, wasn't it? Cool. So you just got back from an amazing traveling trip, it sounds like. Where did you go?
A little bit of everywhere, to New York, to Italy, to Florida, to Vegas for work. So a little bit of traveling around, getting to see the United States and Europe.
Nice. And how did you transfer your money around when you were there?
Well, I have a PingPong account, so I can always have money in any currency I need, to make sure my travels go through easily.
Go smoothly, not just suitcases of gold bullion.
Exactly, right. Exactly. Like I'm Scrooge McDuck.
That'd be really cool. All right. So PingPong, most people who watch the show have an Amazon business. Some of them be selling internationally and some of them will want to sell internationally. So I guess we can start really with, if you're selling internationally, where are you losing loads of money?
Yeah. So, if you're selling internationally on Amazon, you're probably selling in, a couple of different places. Canada, the EU, Australia are usually the starting spots, and then people will kind of gravitate out from there. So the main way that we help sellers is with bank accounts. So once you start selling in the EU or Canada or anywhere outside of your home territory, Amazon Marketplace will pay you in that local currency. So a US merchant selling into Canada, Amazon will pay you in Canadian dollars. So most of the merchants, you're not going to have a Canadian dollar account or a euro account to accept these funds. So Amazon will say, hey, great, you don't have a euro account. We'll convert that money for you to US dollars, using our rate table essentially. So PingPong came in and said, hey, we'll give you virtual bank accounts to how you collect these funds from Amazon, to input these bank accounts in at Amazon to store the funds. So once Amazon pays you, it'll flow into your PingPong account in whatever currency you're using and collecting from Amazon. And then you can convert that back to whatever currency you need at the lowest rate, essentially.
Cool. So is it actually like a proper virtual bank account so that you can hold the money there, pay your suppliers, do whatever you want?
Yep. So, we work with giant banks like Citibank, JP Morgan to create these virtual accounts. So they're virtual bank accounts. They're a little different. You can't go into your branch and withdraw your money, but certainly, to collect money, to hold money in your accounts, to avoid double conversions and to, withdraw the money out to your account, certainly.
Cool. So, even if you're not selling internationally and you want to transfer money, say, to your suppliers in China or somewhere else in the world, and I understand in the US, there's a real pain with sending international payments. I'm not American, but a lot of my friends are selling in the US and have American companies, American bank accounts. Like, what are the issues you actually have with sending international wires in the US with limits or with just organization?
Yeah, so that's kind of the other half of our business is once you've collected the money from Amazon or whatever marketplace you're working with. Now, a lot of our merchants would either withdraw the money out, but a lot of times they'd be like, hey, I'm just going to send it directly to my suppliers to get more goods back. So in that relationship, I think we help, in a couple of different ways. One, We can send the money in any currency. So USD, euros, Vietnamese dong, things like that. Any of those different currencies we can send out, along with just like the speed and, way our platform works. So, to send an international wire, normally you'd use your typical bank, log into your banking portal, set all the details in there, probably upload some documents and then complete the wire and hope that it'll go through within, a day or two. With PingPong, we've kind of set it up because we know that our e-commerce merchants are going to be using the system over and over again. So we've kind of set it up where you can save all your suppliers in, upload all the documents beforehand. And once that we know that you have a relationship with that supplier, we'll process the payments seamlessly. So I think just on saving fees, is the first half of it, but saving, time, effort, being able to get the data back is, the other big part of our platform, essentially.
Nice. And I mean, this is a random question because I don't know the answer to it. Do you do anything with like escrow or holding money or anything like that?
No, not really on, the escrow side of it. There is a couple of companies that, help you with some type of insurance to pay your suppliers, things like that. We're mostly just helping with the payment. We do work with, some companies that can help with those type of arrangements, but, we're here strictly to like make sure the payment goes through quickly and easily, especially for us, since we have people on both sides. If you're in the US and you're sending a payment to China, well, we have 4 offices in China to make sure that payment goes through.
Yeah. And how do you do $90 billion in transfers?
Set up a giant platform and get, 750,000 users and, everybody's making payments. And I think one of the best things is once people started using PingPong to receive money, they also see the benefit of using us to like store money and send money. So it all kind of works nicely within that one platform.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I've seen the inside of the platform. Looks very cool and very well done, compared to a lot of the platforms out there.
Yeah, I think they set it up for e-commerce sellers, right? So it's not like loading into your Bank of America account or Wells Fargo account. It's, set up for e-commerce sellers with just kind of the functions that they would need.
Yeah. And do you know what's behind the name PingPong?
I believe I've been asked this about 1 million times. It's mostly to do with, sending money around the world. We also talk about like ping-ponging it out, but ping-pong kind of implies that you're getting it back. But yeah, we don't want you to, if you send out money, we don't want you to, get that money back unless you actually need it. But yeah, I think PingPong is just helping us send money globally around the world from place to place, which is, the new kind of merchant flow.
I think it's a cool name. I sell like candy.
Sure. Always I get asked when I'm wearing my PingPong shirts, if I'm selling PingPong tables. Even at the conference, a week ago, everybody's like, PingPong, do you guys sell tables? I'm like, no.
You should go to some more bank conferences in Bangkok, shouldn't you? And carry on wearing your merch out and about.
Right.
People will start asking you interesting questions.
Or at least an affiliate deal with like a PingPong provider. Be like, well, I don't, but here you go if you need that.
Yeah, we need to get you some merch as well. I know you're a big fan of merch, and we're getting a load of merch made. Here's some draft pop sockets I got in the post today.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of other companies' merches.
Yeah. I was saying to Matt just before we got on this call, it's the first time that I have seen him not in someone else's merch.
Exactly.
You're looking so smart.
I dressed up with a nice shirt today, and I guess I'm all out of PingPong merch or somebody else's merch t-shirts.
I've got your PingPong merch t-shirts. I should have got it out, but from when I was at Prosper, I got one. It's very blue.
Yep. Well, now we have new ones, so we'll have to send you one of the new ones. We have black and gray and other colors now.
We should have the podcast. That's a great one. Note that down. We'll get different merch from different people who are guests and just rotate merch.
Oh yeah. There's a long list of good merch out there, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it depends on the quality, doesn't it? There's like sleeping merch, there's going out merch, and there's actually merch you'd want to wear.
Sure. Like most of my merch is during the day, working from home, taking my walks around the neighborhood merch.
Yeah, I like that. So it's a decent level of merch. That's like mid-level merch.
Yeah. It's probably not LA like nightlife merch, but LA daytime merch will be fine.
Vietnam, you can get whatever you want. Fake Gucci merch. whatever you need for your LA nightlife.
Sure. All those guys on eBay.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you do at PingPong? What's your day to day?
Yeah. So when I first started, I did senior sales. Now my role's kind of transitioned to do more partner type activity. So partner with different companies that, work with in the same area, same sector, same type of merchants to do, deals and things like that. We can definitely help each other out. We do co-marketing, we do events together. Really just depends on the partner, right? And, some of my partners are strategic and I help them kind of code to our system and use our system. So I kind of vary between doing complex deals to, meeting with all of our different partners to keep them, in the loop of like what we're doing and what they're doing.
Yeah, sounds like a cool job.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
And how is it working for PingPong?
Great. Our team's grown quite a bit. I was telling John when I first showed up, I think we had, like a small office. There's like 10 people in there. And now we have, a sales team of 50 just in the US. So we've grown quite a bit. It's been a little weird not going to the office. I've always worked remote, but even now, I think I've only been to the PingPong office like 3 or 4 times in my couple of years. So I think that's been, a little different as we've had to kind of grow up as an organization through COVID. So a lot of Zoom meetings, a lot of things like that. But yeah, working at PingPong is great.
That's cool. And like, just out of my interest, what's a team of 50 salespeople do? Is it like, because you've got a lot of lead gen, you have so many leads coming in, or are they doing outbound with like, clusters of SDRs and stuff? And how's it work?
Yeah, so we have SDRs. We're probably set up like most teams. We have inbound leads that the guys take care of. We have SDRs that reach out. But now, we have a lot of guys that work on the supplier team. So that team's a little bigger than the e-commerce team. The supplier team's out there, just contacting any business that, is making, multiple payments to China a month or Vietnam or India like that. And that's not something we did when we first signed on, in the US, when the US office opened 4 years ago. But now it's like become like a big part of our business now that we've kind of built out those features and things like that. And, obviously offering, extremely low rates helps also.
Yeah, I agree. Low rates is always good because, that's the only really advantage, isn't it? As long as it's a stable platform and people trust you, then it's all down to the rates, isn't it? It's kind of commodity.
Yeah, it's down to the rates. I think we help save people a lot of time too, time and effort. That's the other big part of it, just having to like upload 1 million documents and anything we can do to like cut that down and make it simple where, we eventually would like people to just log in, select their supplier from a list, select the amount they want to pay it, and, make the payment, just that simple. We've basically done that. There's just a few steps that, as a merchant, you need to complete beforehand to get to that point where now it's just like, I always telling it's like logging into Venmo your friends. That's how easy it can be once everything is set up correctly.
Yeah, I'd love for you to Venmo me the average payment on PingPong, whatever that is.
Yeah, right. Just slip your Venmo number in there and let a couple collect into your bank account.
Actually, I don't know what Venmo. I don't know how Venmo works because I'm a total non-US noob. But just like the average payment on your platform is pretty high.
Yeah, I think going out they're probably higher than coming in. Coming in, it's mostly people's monthly sales, and basically, we see globally it's probably only 10% of a customer's, total business, right? So if they're selling $500,000 a month in the US, they might only be selling $50,000 to $100,000 globally outside of like their main area, essentially.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And that was pretty true for us as well when we were selling in the past. So is there anything that anyone else should know about PingPong or payments or anything like that?
I think if you are making a lot of payments out to suppliers or to vendors or to employees and things like that, that's kind of where we're seeing the biggest growth in our business now. With the virtual accounts, we're always adding more banking capabilities and things like that. But I think on the payout side, Now we've kind of streamlined the platform to make it quicker and easier on top of, having the lowest rates. I mean, even right now we have, zero fees, right? Zero fee transfers to most countries. So if you're making 10 wires a month paying China at, $20 to $40 a wire, well, now you can save that $200 to $400, and probably the time and headache of having to enter in the wire details every time. So that alone, depending if you're doing that many wires, could be like a good amount of savings for you each month, and effort, having to manually enter things or have somebody else manually enter them.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I mean, banking sucks. No, not that what you guys sucks, but in general, you go to any country in the world, the banks are the glass-clad buildings, like that are just shafting everyone on fees. And yeah, I can see a future where they don't need to exist.
Just setting up, if you were a merchant selling on Amazon 10 years ago and you wanted a Euro bank account, you had to fly to the EU.
I did. I flew to the EU.
Walk in, set up a bank account at a bank, and like now you can do that same process in PingPong in 30 seconds, and I can get you any bank accounts that you need in any currency. So that used to be such a big process, and now once you get logged in and approved, I'm like, well, I can get you any bank account you want, and 30 seconds we can get you set up. So I think that's been a big change.
I wish you'd existed 10 years ago when I'd started. Or 7 or 8 years ago, when I was like I flew from Asia to Europe, opened a bank account, flew back to Asia, and then they changed their rules in Latvia. The bank froze all our assets. We had to pay like 6,000 euros to get the money out.
Right.
Yeah, it was just it's just the worst experience,
Right. You just need this bank account to just do business in the EU, and you're like, this is insane, like how crazy it is just to get set up. And I've heard all those stories. I think, that's basically how PingPong started, right? The founders had heard enough of these stories of, just the process of setting up these bank accounts. So that was like where they started and made it easy to get started with, any bank account that you need selling on Amazon. And then they just expanded to all the locations that Amazon sells globally. So basically anywhere where Amazon has a global office, PingPong also has a global office.
So that's super cool. And hopefully you'll have an office in Vietnam soon.
We do.
Would you have an office in Vietnam already? Really?
Yeah.
Whereabouts is it?
I have to look it up.
Yeah, let me know. Maybe I'll go and visit them. Vietnam, it'll either be in Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi. 2 locations, it's possible.
Hanoi, that's where it is. Yeah. It's
like 2.5 hours flight from here. It's a very long country, Vietnam.
Yeah. Long for you. 2.5 hours might be like 5 miles in Los Angeles.
But I mean, a long country to fly 2.5 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll still be in the same country.
Right, a real 2.5 hours, yeah.
I mean, like in England, you leave 2.5 hours, you'll be through the other side of Italy into like Middle East almost.
Right. I can't even make it to Las Vegas from Los Angeles in 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, LA traffic is not something I envy.
No, nobody. That's why you need to work in e-commerce so that you can work from home and try to avoid going out into the traffic, because it's gotten much worse now that COVID has slowed down. So now when you go out, you're like, oh, this is what it used to look like, before COVID, took out everybody and people weren't traveling. And now it's back. It's busy out here.
Yeah. Or as we talked about, just come stay where we're based, 5x your return on rent.
I know, exactly. Right. Like you're living it up, have extra bedrooms. I'm over here, just trying to live in my little hut, trying to stay safe.
Yeah, hut. No, it's not a hut. But Los Angeles LA's great. The climate's great. LA's got areas, hasn't it? From when I spent there, it's like nice area, wasteland of tarmac. Nice area.
I mean, I live in Venice Beach, so I think I get a lot of questions about the homelessness. We're kind of like the face of homelessness. You see it, it's definitely out there. You're not going to not see it, but it's still LA, like when people get here, like, the weather's going to be perfect. There's tons of restaurants. You have the beach, there's a million things to do in town. Yeah. I have no real complaints about LA. Great city to me. Has, like any other city, has its flaws, but I think the benefits outweigh them.
Yeah. We'll drive through and visit after Prosper next year.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Drive through LA.
Drive to the coast, a little 4-hour stint, And then you can go up and down the PCH.
Yeah, I did the drive once, like over a decade ago, up and down. Super cool.
Yeah, beautiful drive.
All right, we have got to the next part of the podcast. So in this part of the podcast, we tried to give back to our audience, which we haven't come up with a name for yet. And we have some amazing prizes up for grabs. The winners are announced on the weekly live show, which is at, 6 p.m. EST on Fridays. And then we run it a couple of times every episode because we have so many prizes to give away. Actually, thousands, if not tens of thousands of prizes from our previous guests. Thursday EST, you're right. Thursday, 6 p.m. EST, not Friday. Friday for me.
Right, exactly.
So what we have is Matt has very graciously put forward two amazing prizes for our Wheel of Prizes, which we run every time. And if they're not won today, these prizes will be put forward to next. So we'll always be running them around the wheel. So he's put forward a 30-minute consulting session with Matt. I'd recommend any consulting session with Matt. He's a great guy to talk to and has some amazing stories as well as helping you with your Amazon business. And also a secret under the table rate, which he can give you if you're on a call with him, which I cannot announce. But yeah, you do any kind of international payments, you should talk to Matt. He has the coat full of forbidden rates. We also have $400 worth of reimbursements by Seller Candy, our sponsor, and our company. And loads of different cash options from $5 to $100 on the wheel. Also still on the wheel is an amped AMPD campaign review for whether Google Ads will add value to your business and how to use their software. We have a free 1-hour call with John Elder from Black Label Advisor, which is very valuable. We have some different subscriptions to refer us on for Amazon micro influencers. We have a 20-minute coaching strategy call with Daniel Fernandez of AMZ Clever. We have some consultations with Z and Fortunet, and I think that's it. The wheel is getting too big. We need to have less things on the wheel. So maybe we'll spin it a few more times if Matt likes spinning the wheel.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring up the wheel. And here's a wheel we prepared earlier. All right, so Matt, you are in control of this wheel. Well, I love saying that because everyone thinks they can control it, but no, you only verbally. So what you have to say is you have to say spin that wheel, and then our beautiful assistant will spin the wheel.
Great. Like I said, lots of people I know on here, so spin the wheel. Let's do this.
There'll be some music in post. All right, we need to better name these things. We have the 10 first signups get 20% off my consultation fee, which is amazing. Not sure who that's from, so let's confirm that and then spin the wheel again. And when we announce the winner, we will actually confirm who that is.
Who they're consulting with.
Yeah, I mean maybe it's me. Probably not me though. All right, want to do it again, Matt?
Sure, let's spin again now.
Well, I think when I see this moving, I think of the music from Countdown. It's the UK TV show.
It's mesmerizing. Getting into the business.
Nice. 20-minute Ask Me Anything consulting call with AMZ Clever. There's actually a few of these on the wheel. So, yeah, that's Daniel Fernandez. So we'll be introducing whoever that is to Daniel after we've announced the winner this Friday. And let's do it one more time.
All right, one last spin, and we can do it now. It's good colors.
Oh, thank you. No, this one's really cool. Well, they're all really cool, but this is actually a really good one. So this is from Chris Grant, who was on our live show last week, who runs Clear the Shelf and runs the OA Challenge, so the Online Arbitrage Challenge. He runs this thing, I think, 2 or 3 times a year, and he's giving away 1 copy of the replay of the live event. What's super cool about this is it's a great way to add a revenue stream to your Amazon business to online arbitrage, and Chris really is the biggest guy in the industry when it comes to educating people about online arbitrage, and also one of our biggest affiliates. So yeah, thank you to Chris. So we'll be announcing all of those winners on the Friday show. If you're watching the replay of this, which you will be because this isn't live, there is a link below or in the comment or wherever it is, so you can enter that and get added to the list, and then you're entered for all future competitions going forward. We've already had 5 or 10 winners in the last couple of weeks, so we have a lot more to give away. All right, so we are getting on to the fun part of the show after the other fun part of the show, the rapid fire questions. In this part of the show, you have 8 questions we're going to ask you, and you only have 1 second to answer a 1-word answer. If you want it to be 2 or 3-word answer, that's also fine. More, it's just funny if you answer it very quickly. All right, so are you ready, Matt?
Sure, I'm ready. I got to get my senses going.
Okay, Matt, what is your favorite Amazon niche?
Oh, man. I'm going to say sports item.
You could choose no pictures or no reviews. What would you pick?
No reviews.
Name a country that starts with the letter P.
Portugal, there we go.
Portugal, yeah. Oh, next big opportunity, which Amazon Marketplace. Could also be this, could also be Portugal if you want it to be.
I'm going to say some of the new emerging, like the APAC regions. I think those are the ones that are growing, I think, the fastest that we see.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you there. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh, no.
Just go back from Italy. Name something appealing about working from home.
Oh, man. I mean, for me, it's being able to take walks, enjoy the LA weather, during the day. I think that's the most appealing thing for me.
That's Google ads or Facebook ads?
Oh, Google.
And name something you'd hate to find swimming around in your bathtub.
Jeez, a snake?
Nobody likes snakes. We've had quite a few snakes and some baby alligators.
Yeah.
All right. That is it. You have passed with flying colors. Best ever answers.
Well, except you come up with Portugal there for a hot minute, but yeah.
That's all right. I was like, when I said P, I was like, oh no, do we ask one that doesn't have any letters? We can do X next, are we?
Right.
Really want to somewhere in Africa, probably.
Right, exactly.
Don't get cancelled. All right. So, Matt, if people want to reach out to you or contact you or the business or are interested in international payments, what should they do?
Yeah, so you can definitely find me on LinkedIn. I'm always on LinkedIn. You can email me at matt.l@pingpongx.us. I think those are probably the best 2 ways to get in touch with me. If you send me a note on LinkedIn, I'll always get back with you. Certainly, if you send me an email, I'll get back with you. But I think those are probably the best ways to reach out to me. Certainly willing to help.
Yeah, and I would just encourage anyone to reach out to Matt. He's a great guy. Oh, and the free consultation earlier is from Bryce Creasy of Z.
Got it. Bryce?
From Bryce. Are they your competitor? No, they're not really a competitor, are they? No.
We work with them, actually.
Okay, perfect. All right, so not your competitor. Good.
No.
I'm just checking.
No, exactly.
It's like, no, it's not Matt's competitor. Well, Matt will give you 30% off a one-on-one consultation.
Exactly.
Just using the code Bryce.
Exactly, right. I'll set up another code.
All right, so this comes to the end. That brings us to the end of the episode. Thanks you to everyone who has watched this episode or watched any of the outtakes and then come to see it afterwards. So we're going to have some funny outtakes. Thank you to Matt for joining us. And we hope tonight's episode was, this morning for Matt was beneficial and useful. If you enjoyed the show, please do like, subscribe. Any platform works. Make a comment below. Tap any button that you see around you, except the one for other videos. And thank you. Thanks for watching the Amazon Strategist Show, powered by Seller Candy.